Welcome to the 8th episode of Forbidden Frames. Now let's take a look what the challenge is. Alright, so photography style, focused on public boudoir photography. Preparation time, there is no preparation time. Challenge, for this session you will have to work with a model to do a boudoir session in a public location where boudoir is frowned upon and not popular. Time, you have only 2 hours to complete the session. Equipment, Konica Auto S2 and Sekonic light meter. Film type, 35mm black and white. Lighting, natural light. Model, you can only have one model scheduled for this session, no backup models. Passing rules, you must have a collage of images from the session to complete this challenge. If you fail the passing, you'll have to redo the session, be the model, and allow someone to photograph you. Okay, now let's take a look what we have here in the box. Here's the camera that I'm going to use and Sekonic mirror. Alright, challenge is accepted. Let's see if we can make boudoir photography history with Konica Auto S2. The Konica Auto S2, a 35mm rangefinder camera, was introduced in 1965 and quickly gained popularity due to its reliability and its solid construction. The camera uses standard 35mm film, which was the preferred format for both amateur and professional photographers at the time, offering versatility and ease of use. Developed by Konica, a Japanese company known for its innovation, the Auto S2 was designed to combine advanced features with user-friendly operation. While specific sales figures are not widely documented, it is estimated that over 500,000 units were sold during its production run. The camera became especially popular among street photographers and photojournalists who valued its quick handling and sharp hexagon 45mm f1.8 lens, capable of capturing vibrant and detailed images. One of the unique features of the Konica Auto S2 is its coupled light meter built into the top plate of the camera, which automatically adjusts exposure based on lighting condition. The camera also features a parallax corrected viewfinder, improving accuracy in framing close-up shots. Manufacturing of the Konica Auto S2 continued until 1968, making it a relatively short-lived but impactful model in the photography world. A fun piece of trivia about the Konica Auto S2 is that it was often referred to as the poor man's Leica due to its high-quality performance at a more affordable price. Today, the Konica Auto S2 is valued by collectors and film enthusiasts with prices typically ranging from $100 to $300 depending on its condition. Right now it is overcast, so we are going to work with consistent lighting, hopefully. And we don't have a model for this session, so I will model for today, and I will be a director of photography. So I will measure the light, I will set up the camera, I will explain the angles I want to be photographed, and Eliar will actually do the session. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and meter my light and then set up my camera. So my ISO, let me set up my meter first. So the ISO of my film is 100. I'll go f4 and see what my light meter says in terms of the shutter speed. So it shows 30 of a second shutter speed, which is pretty slow. I don't think this camera is going to actually give me good results with this type of shutter. So let's go ahead and change my aperture to 2.8. So and mirror it again. Okay, now it shows 60ths of a second. It's still pretty slow, so I'll go one stop underexposed, and I'll go with shutter 125, aperture 2.8, and 100 ISO. So let's go ahead and set up my camera and start the photo session.
Then you can just hand me the camera once you're done.
Okay, Liara, I'm gonna give you the camera, so...
You ready? I got one shot.
One shot?
Yeah. I thought you were gonna hold it in your hand.
Huh?
I thought you were gonna hold the jacket in your hand.
I asked you, so I told him. Do you think we can do... Oh, there's
Let's go.
another one is coming.
Okay, do something different this time. No, that's too yeah.
Maybe I'll just...
Okay, go. Go, go, go. Hold on. Wait. Now. Wait, no. But now let's go this other direction.
Let's go on the steps of that building.
Okay, where?
After a disastrous photo session on the street of Lisbon, we came here to this coffee shop to warm up and to get some coffee. It didn't go the way I envisioned. I really wanted to capture the vibe of the city. I really liked the trolleys, but I'm not sure we captured any of those. It was very cold, first of all, and out of a sudden the temperature dropped, so I was on the hills and couldn't really move myself easily to walk and find a different location. It was also unsafe because of the traffic. There were so many cars, the streets are very narrow, and traffic was very busy, and also I was extremely shy in front of all these people passing by. People were watching us when they were passing in the cars and trolleys and keys and elder people. So job of a model is actually very, very difficult. I just realized today. I mean, I knew about it, but today's session proved it. So, well, we captured some of the sessions. We moved to a really small street with no traffic at all. There were just a couple of people passing by. So, not sure if we captured great images because, again, it was very cold for me. But we captured something. And we're going to move to the room and continue the session over there. With a different film. So we're going to use 400 ISO film for the indoor session because, again, it's not as bright today as it was yesterday. So we'll see how the second part of the session will go. With the Konica Auto S2, I failed right from the beginning, even before I got a chance to use the camera. My model was a no-show. She backed out at the last minute, and I was left in Lisbon, ready for my street boudoir session without a model. So I had to get a little creative and created some teasing, boudoirish images in the outfit I was already wearing. Later we went to the hotel and I did a boudoir style of session with myself as a model, since I had already failed the challenge. And regardless, we ran into some issues and difficulties that weren't camera related actually. First, LDR couldn't photograph and film at the same time. The streets were narrow and the traffic was increasing. Second, I couldn't walk around Lisbon's hilly streets in my high heels, and that was very challenging. And on top of that, there were a lot of people who were staring at us, so I wasn't feeling very comfortable. Third, we didn't have the right 35mm film rolls, especially for the hotel room boudoir session. We only had an Ilford SFX 200, which is a very high contrast film designed for infrared style images using a red filter. And we already had high contrast lighting and shadows in the room. We will continue our photo session with Konica Auto S2 in the hotel room. This is a Lisbon Art Stay boutique hotel. We're in a small room, room 24, and we have lots of beautiful ambient light in the room because we have 3 windows. The space is pretty small, but it's cozy. Let me show you around what we have here and the spots where we're going to take photos. And by the way, I will be the model for the shoot again. I'm going to be wearing lingerie, which is under this jacket, so I'll just take it off when we start the session. So we have here beautiful, gorgeous big window with the city view, or with the street view, I would say. We have mirror on this side that we can easily utilize to create some cool shots. We have another window here. You see there a lot of natural light, but still the weather is it's cloudy today, so we don't have a really bright light coming through the windows, so we have to be really careful, and I have to position myself in a way where we still have beautiful highlights falling, or beautiful light falling on my body to create beautiful highlights. This is the kitchen area, so we can also work on some shots with a storyline. For example, me drinking coffee, making coffee, something more sensual, but at the same time casual, so we'll see what we can come up with. And here on this side, really weird, but I actually like it, we have shower. This is not a door, this is actually a window, so you can take a shower and somebody can watch you. So I guess this is the idea of the layout of this room. Anyways, oh, I forgot to mention that we also have like a closet without doors, and I think we can come up with some weird type of looking poses and shots. I never go for this style, but I think I should try something different, and this is the trial. Today is the trial day. Okay, so also we have a bed. We may utilize bed as well, we'll see, and do some boudoir style on the bed. So what I didn't mention, let me think. Okay, camera settings. We will continue using f2.8. We can go lower to 1.8, but we're a little bit worried about using really shallow depth of field with this camera to avoid blurry images or not really sharp images or out of focus images. And in terms of the shutter, so ISO of the film is 200, so it's a little bit better than what we had outside, and 200 ISO is the fastest film we have that is available for us during this trip. So Light meter says that I still have to shoot with 60s of a second. My shutter speed should be 60 of a second, which is pretty low for this camera. I'm not sure the images are going to look sharp at all. So we will go with one stop underexposed. We will underexpose one stop, and we will work with 125 of a second shutter speed. We can try also to go lower with f-stop to 1.8 and see how that works. I think we have to write it down on which shots we utilize that specific setting to see what the camera is going to give us when we change the setting. So, whew.
So starting from the top right here, you got the rewind knob and you got the rewind crank, which is gonna go clockwise when you're rewinding the film. You got your focal plane mark right here. You got your accessory shoe, and you got right here, you got your light meter, and you have your film advance lever, and you got your shutter. And right here you got your film count or your frame count. So it's pretty simple. You just load the film, advance the film, and press the shutter. So going to the front of the camera, we got the rangefinder window right here, and this is the viewfinder and rangefinder right here. And we have our lens. On the lens right here, we got this mark. If you can see it, this is our depth of field scale right here. And then we have the distance scale over here. So when I move the focusing lever, which is attached to this focusing ring right here, you can see that the distance scale is also moving and lining up with the depth of field scale right there. Okay, and this is the focus lever right here. So this is pretty much what I'm moving to focus and line up those images. So this is a rangefinder camera, so you have to line up the two images for the focus, for the image to be in focus, and that's just done by this lever right here. Okay, so again, in front of the camera, you got your aperture ring right here, and starts from auto to 1.8 and then goes all the way to f16.
LER was trying to use glass reflections to create interesting compositions, but they just didn't turn out to be looking good. They turned out to be very overexposed and pretty much wasted. The windows were so reflective, like mirrors, that they increased the exposure actually by a few stops, ruining all the highlights in the photographs. On the other hand, the street photos and the images from the Ruby Rose rooftop of the Lisbon Art Stay Hotel turned out decent. I used the camera myself for a few self-portraits, and I really enjoyed the process of photographing. The images didn't turn out badly, I would say, except for those taken with the Ilford SFX 200, which wasn't a problem with the film itself. It was just the wrong choice for the environment and the look I was going for. In the future, I will go back to the Lisbon Art Stay Hotel again and try to do another session in the same room with a color film and Cinestill 250 or maybe 800 ISO. We are at the rooftop bar of Lisbon Art Stay Hotel. This is an amazing place to have some drinks and socialize with other people, just to relax, because the view of this place is amazing. I'm just gonna show you around really quickly. And this is a beautiful view of Lisbon, of the narrow streets and red roofs. You can show that way as well. So we're gonna start from a room actually downstairs that is dedicated for private events, and then we'll come up here and do a couple of photos over here at the rooftop. There's also a private area for events, an actual bar area, so let me show you around. And There are a lot of mirrors in this place, so everything looks three-dimensional. When first time I walked into this place, I felt a little bit weird just because I could see myself from every possible angle. But this is the private event area room. That there's going to be a private event in a little bit, so we're gonna start session right here, and then we'll do a couple of shots on the rooftop. Let me show you another area. Follow me. Right here, I think this is the small lobby where you walk in and just go upstairs to the rooftop. Yeah, everything looks pretty cool here. So if you're in Lisbon and you want to see a beautiful view of the city and you want to have some drinks, this is the place you should stop. Now we're gonna put the video camera away because it's very difficult to hold both cameras. We'll start the session over here and we'll show you the final images.
So for this session, we spent $70 on the camera, $130 on hotel room, $30 on film rolls, $60 for processing and scanning, and $300 on flights from London to Lisbon. The total expenses for the session was $590.
We're done with our session. This was the last part of it in this beautiful rooftop bar in an amazing hotel. Again, guys, this hotel's name is Lisbon Art Stay Hotel. It's in the heart of Lisbon, in the city center, so absolutely convenient location and beautiful views, as you can see. I hope you enjoy the shoot, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. I'm about to go through all the images we took with Konica Auto S2. We have 3 folders here. They're all digital. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to print them because we're traveling and we developed film overnight. But luckily we have the digital images. So I'm going to start from our first roll. Let's take a look. So the first roll is Hector 100 ISO. Okay, this was probably a test shot. Well, they're very colorful, and this is in the bar. That was actually colorful as well, but they're not bad at all. This one looks pretty good. A little bit bright, but still pretty good. And they're very sharp. I like this one. And this was self-portrait, which is actually not bad at all. Yeah, this turned out exactly how I actually envisioned it, and it's also self-portrait. And even with the mirror shots, they're pretty in focus, surprisingly. That's pretty cool. It's a cool shot, I like it. I didn't know what exactly Lara was doing here, but now I see. I was against that shot because I thought bathroom shot doesn't sound really really good. Because of the room, we were able to create some unusual photos that were more artistic rather than boudoir-ish. With this being said, here are the final images I selected for our upcoming book Forbidden Frames: 100 Years of Recreated Boudoir Photography History. I believe we made boudoir photography history today with the Konica Auto S2 at the Lisbon Art Stay Hotel. Check them out and make sure to visit BIB TV to watch the complete session. It's now available on Forbidden Frames Season 1. See you next week with another camera, another model, and another location. Believe in boudoir!